What's your favorite part of this new digs?
Honestly, everything's state of the art. When I first got in, which was yesterday, I was looking at it, I was like, wow, I was in awe. It's pretty special. I mean, it's a testament to, our ownership group, Greg and Kerry, for putting this together. So it's awesome. It feels like I'm in the maze right now, though, trying to figure out where to navigate, where to go, but, it's pretty awesome.
Pat, there are a few teams that can have a Super Bowl or bust mentality going into the season. With how close you got last year, is that how you and this group feels?
Yeah, our expectations are pretty high, but, we're just going to take it week by week. Obviously that's the main goal, but, it starts right here in training camp. It starts through early on in the season. I think our main focus is to start off fast, start off, hot and early, so that way we could prepare ourselves to get, to that stage. So
you came from a program that has had championship standards before you got here. What can you say about those last couple of steps? This group has come so far, but my feeling is the last couple of steps are the biggest ones. Agree, disagree, but what's your thought on that?
Yeah, I think it is. I think we got all the right pieces, the right team, and coaches invest a lot into us and pour a lot into us as well too. So I think, when you put all that together, it makes for a great team. And, we got the right guys with the right mentality to start things off the right way. So, this team is great, all across the board. So.
Hey, Pat, J-Mac got here your second year. He was an undrafted free agent. I think he spent most of that first year on the practice squad. But I'm curious if there were early signs that you had working with him and being alongside him that kind of, made you believe he could become the player he has for you guys, which is just sort of what makes the biggest play.
Yeah, I mean, his mindset is off the charts, and the way how he carry himself, on and off the field, his work ethic, there's only a few that quite work like him. Like you said, being undrafted, coming in, nobody knew about him, but now, he's a hot commodity. It goes to show, the work he's put in, and how much he value and how much he hones in on his craft. So, I'm excited for J-Mac. Obviously he's a big-time player, but I'm happy that he's finally getting, his spotlight,
To have VJ back as the DC with all the continuity that you already have on your defensive unit, what can that do for you guys?
Oh, it does a lot. Having VJ on our side, a guy that's, been in this league for a long time, but knows the ins and outs of this game. And, when you talk to him, everything's about him, speaks volumes. He's even a better person, so, having a guy like that on the defensive side of the ball, just translate to success.
Pat, you guys have been in elite defense for a couple of years in a row now. What's the next step that this defense can take if there is one?
So I feel like every year there's, everybody got new goals, but I feel like as long as we continue to stay consistent, I think with us, it's like I mentioned before, starting off fast, early on, not allowing anything to go by. I just feel like that's our next step. And sort of just staying committed to the process, trusting, what VJ got for us, trusting us, our defense as a unit. We got the right pieces in the right places. So, it just feels right now. So.
To be the best defense, do you need to get more takeaways in your mind?
That's true. I think we could do that when the ball's in the air, capitalize on more opportunities with taking the ball away. Obviously those game-changing plays are very vital, in NFL games. Taking the ball away and just doing that would definitely help us a lot too.
Pat, kind of a two-part question in this facility. Broncos in recent years did well in the NFLPA survey with the exception of locker rooms. So, how much better is the locker room than it used to be? And the same question I asked Quinn, how much can this help maybe luring free agents and what have you?
Well, yeah, it's been a long time coming. The locker room is crazy. It's quite unique as well, too. And it just gives a different feel, a different vibe. It's like we're leaving that in the past and we entering, a new state, a new year. And, I think it's is well deserved for us as players, with the amount of work we put in as well too. But yeah, everything's starting to come together with the facility, and yeah, I'm looking forward to building with the guys and being able to be in this building is quite special.
Can it be a recruiting tool for free agents, when they start coming through next?
Yeah, pretty much so. It feels like I'm in college again. It feels like I'm immersed into that experience again. So, like I said, credit to Greg and Kerry for putting all this together for us. So,
what was your first reaction when you walked into the facility, when you walked into the locker room, and just took it all in here last week?
My expectations was high, and it definitely exceeded my expectations. I don't think there's nothing like this in the league. I mean, it's state of the art, very nice facilities, everything, and it seems like when you look at it. Obviously you look at the locker rooms, the facilities, it just seemed like it was meant to be, and they put it in the right spot, in the right position with this team. So it's great that we have this to our disposal.
Pat, obviously, JFM left in free agency. Coop's status was a little unclear for the season.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk to us and walk us through, obviously you haven't seen these guys during camp yet, but the depth on the defensive front, the young guys, any Savion, Jonah, Q, what have you seen from those guys? Do you think they can help you match/exceed the standard from last year?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the business, as it says. Obviously when great players leave, you got to count on other guys to step up. But like you mentioned, Savion and any those guys, they've been, working very hard. Obviously Savion, young guy, was stepping up last year in his role, and he's been a baller as well too. Stepping up in his role too. Year in and year out. So, I feel like the expectations stay the same. Even when JFM was here, I know that room hold each other to high standards, and I feel like they expect the same out of both those two. So,
Pat, when it comes to the secondary, PJ Locke has also gone in free agency. Who, at number 3 safety, are you excited about taking advantage of some of those opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of great pieces, to fill that void. Obviously PJ was a great player, a very instrumental part to our team. So, we obviously, you got JL, Devin Key, and a couple other guys as well too to step up and fulfill that spot. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun camp. So.
You guys have a lot of continuity, but you have new coaches in your room with Livingston and Bell. When you've been in the league for a while and you've got new coaches, how do you sort of pick their brain or take things from them and learn from them? Maybe they use a little bit different language or whatever the case is.
Yeah, I think it's pretty awesome to have that opportunity to learn from them as well, and just to really be transparent with one another, because obviously they come from different experiences. Obviously it was Coach Livingston, he's coming from college, from Colorado. Then you got Coach Bell as well, coming from college as well too, but sort of implementing that, what they learned throughout their years, and sort of me, just telling them what I learned throughout my years as well too. I think it goes hand in hand collectively. And, they're great, all in all, very transparent with us as players. And, they're very great coaches, and they understand everything to a T, to quite the details. So I'm excited to work with them this year.
Does it feel like year 6, or is that kind of hard to believe? And how has your mindset and perspective maybe changed?
I mean, honestly, man, it doesn't even feel like year 6. It feels like when I was a rookie, just starting to come in, starting to quite come in my shell. But, time be flying. And, just seeing, how far this team has came has been quite surreal, honestly, to say the least. So, I'm excited to enter year 6 and get it going again.